18 months ago, I almost called it quits. I hit my first $30,000 month and thought, wow, I'm rich. Not the case. We hit it one time, couldn't do it again. Very difficult. Now, I had done this several times in my business journey, but every time it was short-lived. Whether it was friends, whether it was tech or ad costs, whatever it may be, it just didn't last. And you start following trends, and you get into this rabbit hole where you're seeing everybody else online be successful, make money, or at least the perception of making money, and you think, wow, whatever they're doing, I need to try that. Because the internet has a funny way of making you feel like you're always behind, making you feel like you're not where everybody else is and you need to constantly catch up. My name's Mitch. I run a company called Keybrain. This initially started about 18 months ago when I was looking to build a company that helped myself and my mortgage business. I was a mortgage agent, still am, and I needed to hire a virtual assistant. I'll save the spiel for another video, but essentially I created a VA staffing company for mortgage professionals here in Canada, and it kind of took off. Since then, we've adapted to moving into other industries, changing the name to Key Players, and now integrating AI. I've since brought on a CTO to develop fairly high-end technology that we now integrate across a variety of income streams and a variety of industries that allow us to help these companies scale. If you don't believe me, right here is my trusty Miro board with everything happens. Miro is showing you my P&L for one company and my, Stripe account for the other. And then you'll see it's kind of blank down here. And I want to show you guys a few different things because the secret to, success that we have found is that there is no secret. It's just making people more efficient with who they are and what they do. So in this video, I want to walk you through how my company went from doing literally $0, having an idea in my girlfriend's mom's house before I went to a Toronto Maple Leafs playoff game, to building a company now that this year will do over $2 million. Just for reference, I'm 28 years old. I started this whole business online entrepreneurship thing at 22, saw a little bit of success and saw a lot of failure. And if anybody's being honest with you, you probably saw the same thing. I wasn't really good at the Instagram DM thing. I wasn't good at selling courses. I wasn't really good at selling information because I like learning it. I just didn't like to be the guy that sold it and driving around in Miami in a Ferrari, which would have been sick, but it just wasn't how I felt like I wanted to make my money. More importantly, I saw a problem for myself and I wanted to solve that. And I've always been told that this is how people make money. You solve problems for people that can pay for them, and then you scale that and you pour gas on that fire and it scales exponentially. And that's exactly what happened. So what I want to do here in this video is show you exactly how we do it, how I did it, and the technology that I use to run my business on a day-to-day. Now, for reference, I have over 100 virtual assistants, and on my team, I have exactly 0 employees. I have 15 team members, all virtual assistants, all in the Philippines. They are incredible people, but I'm going to show you how this company is powered. Now, I have no script for this video. I want to make this very clear. I have no idea what's going to come out of this. I want to show you guys raw what we do. I've never really been a creator yet on YouTube, but this is my, kind of showing you how we run a business from the actual internal standpoint with literally nothing to sell you. And if you decide to get a VA in the future and you want to use some AI tools, cool, happy to have you. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to show you right now. And I'm sure you've seen this. Okay, this is Claude. I told my girlfriend that we're gonna name our first child Claude because this is the whole reason that we've been able to be successful with this. So everyone's talking about AI. No one's really doing anything with it. Everyone's showing you how to create different tools on AI, but no one's showing you actually how to leverage these tools. And it's difficult because I've watched every video on Claude you could possibly imagine. And it's great, now I have it set up in my terminal. I don't know what to do with it. How do I actually make agents from it? So you'll see I have a bunch of tabs open on my computer here. So Claude obviously being an app that we use on desktop. Just so you know, there's a massive difference between Claude on your computer, on your desktop, and Claude on your browser. Totally the same Claude obviously, but different use case. Claude for your desktop, you can use Claude Cowork and Claude Code. That's a whole different video. So here, what I wanted to show you is this. So Claude allows me to do a couple of different things. Number one, Claude allows me to create AI agents, which again is a couple of different things. So for example, I used to have Jervis, he's my virtual assistant. I used to have him do things like email triage. I would have him do things like, one of the big things in our space is competitor research, right? Then I would have him kind of report to me and say, hey, I want to know where our clients are at. So client update, okay? These are the things that AI is now doing, so Jervis does not have to. Okay, but he right now is running the operation. So what people don't understand is that when you use Claude, when you use technology, it's not totally autonomous. Someone needs to be managing the agents because you don't just put it in once and then hopefully it works for the rest of your career. You need to be able to manage it. I myself find that I have more value in running my team, creating, speaking, and doing things that a CEO should do, as opposed to being the developer on the back end. So we have a developer, we have a team that does our tech. I started it, of course, but our virtual assistant team allows us to kind of keep our business at scale and grow every single week. We have not had a week that we've gone less revenue than the last week, specifically because our VAs are creating these systems that allow us to build. Okay, so in this video, I want to walk you through the whole structure, how we build it, how we run it, etc. Sorry, these little admin tasks that can be done autonomously, and then having AI, well, really not do anything. They're building cool tools. Okay, so here's what I want to show you, kind of that nobody really does talk about, is that here's how you actually use it to make your people more efficient, right? So I'm going to call this Keybrain, specifically because this right here is a collaborative workspace. Okay, I'm going to be totally honest. It really means everything to the operating system of your business. What connects your clients and your offer and makes it more potent and more useful than anything else. If you offer a service to a client and you're providing that service, is anything autonomous? Are you involved in the day-to-day? I am not. We provide virtual assistants. But I listened to my team and I listened to our clients, and they said to me, the biggest problem we face right now is that we have a difficulty adapting new tools and a difficulty kind of managing our VA. How do I manage multiple VAs? How do I get multiple VAs to work on similar tasks? How do we do certain things that I just don't know how to do right now? And initially we said, okay, well, go ahead and use Notion or ClickUp. And then we said, well, let us help you build out Notion or ClickUp. We'll charge you a little fee to get that done. And that worked. And we were using Go High Level and HubSpot, all these tools that people use for their service-based company, and then realized that there was no collaborative workspace. It was very difficult to manage in the Virtual AI because the divide kind of became large, which clients were saying, okay, we are now watching these videos like yours. How do we use AI effectively in our company? How do I leverage my VA? That is great. I just can't fill 40 hours or 20 hours, whatever it may be. We looked at it and said, okay, there must be a way where we can manage virtual assistants and tasks and people kind of in one workspace. And you would think that Notion or ClickUp or Asana, whatever, Trello, would be the case. But it's complex. If you ever use ClickUp or Notion, it's a massive learning curve. We have created something that was totally dumbed down. What if we could take away all of the kind of fluff inside of these workspace or task management platforms and make it super stupid simple? Take the best of all of them and create one collaborative workspace. Now, this is not a Keybrain video. You guys can go and you can demo that, but I want to show you something. It's a little bit different. So we created what's called Keybrain. Okay, you can see my screen here. Right now, it looks a little convoluted, but I promise you it's super simple. And I'm showing you this because it's one of the tools, one of the ways that we've leveraged AI. So Claude Code, which I will show you over here quickly, one of the top platforms that we use right now, okay? Claude Code is actually responsible for building Keybrain. All right. So Claude Code, essentially, and we'll go over a whole video on this, but it is a coding tool that you can use leveraging AI. Basically tell Claude, which is built through Anthropic, kind of like ChatGPT, how we build systems. Claude Code is the operating system behind how we take our ideas and turn them into actual businesses, right? So we use Claude Code and we built out what is now called Keybrain. In Keybrain, it allows us to run everything through what we call a business brain. This business brain now is having our clients say, you know what, put everything, just dump your entire business into this brain, this AI brain that will remember everything about you. Your industry, your business, your brand voice, your customers, your tools, systems, processes, how you work together with your VAs, everything, and it won't forget. Okay? Now, one of the cool things that we do is make sure that every one of these questions is answered. And when they go into one of our marketing pods, and again, they're not a Keybrain tutorial, we'll go over that in another video. When I use this is the pod-based AI agent. So call this in marketing, right? So my marketing team, marketing VA, will work with the marketing team or the founder inside of the marketing pod, right? As you can see, there's bulletin boards. They can, put comments and notify the people in the team. But you can use this kind of like you would use ChatGPT or Claude to ask it questions. And you can see right now, I can ask it something and it will answer kind of like Claude or ChatGPT, right? So it's very conversational. And kind of the point with this right now is it remembers every conversation. So now it's not like you tell ChatGPT something and you share the link with your team and it's all kind of convoluted. It acts as a business brain. It has memory. Okay. So one of the best things that we have realized that Claude Code can do is take our brain, take our ideas and turn it into real live tools. Okay. This single-handedly has become the #1 propellant in my business. Now, a lot of you guys who are watching this who have already used Claude or ChatGPT, you've realized that you do run out of credits, and that is the biggest problem that we have faced, is that right now, at the time of making this video, I have 2 days until I get my Claude credits back, right? So what I want to get to is how I kind of leverage them in my own business. This has allowed me to save over 5,000 hours in my business. The 5,000 hours have allowed me to kind of do this. So this here has allowed me to go back into Claude Code to build tools like Keybrain. Keybrain has allowed me to do other things like help more companies scale, which inevitably does what? It adds more revenue to my business because they're getting more VAs now. They look at Keybrain and they say, wow, they've developed a tool that allows me to work more efficiently. Great. I want 2, maybe 3 VAs more. So that adds more revenue to our company. And if we have 100 clients, which we do, we can now have 100 clients getting not only 1 VA, so that's 100 VAs for us, but maybe 2 or 3. That goes from 100 to 2 to 300 VAs by literally using I think I pay $100 a month for Claude Max. $100 a month has allowed me to scale my business by 2 to 3x. By the end of the year, my company will hit between 250 and 300,000 per month at bare minimum. That's just the VA side of the company. Not to brag, I've been in a point where hitting 3-4 grand a month was like, oh my God, thank God I'm gonna be able to pay for my subscriptions. But now we're at a point where it's like, how do we scale to the point where we're gonna be getting eyeballs from VC firms, right? That's kind of the way that we're looking at this right now. So here are the agents that right now our team actually uses. So the key command is kind of like a very, very, very dumbed down version of the AI agents that we use internally. These are actually for our clients that can be leveraged in any business right now, right? So we'll talk about content creation for a second, just because content is one of the big things people try and automate with AI, and it's super simple. So this is a screenshot from my Slack. This has allowed me to use different agents like the content creator to run and understand what I should be creating content about, right? So right now, here are the top 3 content opportunities. ChatGPT 5.4, beat humans at desktop tasks. What does this mean? So I talk about AI. It's what I use on a daily basis. Sometimes it's a little bit more advanced. Sometimes it's super basic and base level, kind of like this. This allows me to say, okay, I'm up, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm about to go do my tasks with my team, I have meetings, etc., but I need to create content. That's one of the big parts of my company. So what do? I leverage tools like I was just showing you inside of Key Command. It runs autonomously. What that means is that I don't have to do this every day. My assistant doesn't do market research. He doesn't need to send me messages every morning. He does not need to help me create content. It's literally downloading Telo, which is what I'm using to create this video right now. And every single day, I get opportunities to create content like this because I have developed an autonomous agent, meaning it runs by itself, and it is scheduled to do certain things. Okay, so when you go to Claude, which we'll kind of do in another video, and you go to scheduled, all of these tools right here are the agents that we use and leverage. Now, I'm literally showing you my everything right now, so you can screenshot all of this. Okay, but we leverage that to create outputs like this. This allows me to create content about things that I actually care about that will help me help propel my content journey and my business inevitably. So the whole point of this video is, what is the point of using AI? The point of it is to make human beings more effective. My business is predicated around this exact sentiment. I am going to help your business install virtual assistants who understand how to leverage AI so that you don't have to, so that you can increase revenue and thus increase profit by increasing the predictability to scale, right? So right now, you predictably scaling, you have a good chance of doing that, but it's not eliminated, but it's slightly reduced because of the lack of AI constitution in your business, right? So what I'm saying is that when you're building and developing AI agents, it's not so they can replace people, it's to replace tasks. It's to replace tasks that VAs can do for you, so you could have that VA team, have that team underneath you. Because, listen, I was going to say you can't build a one-person business, but I think I just heard, again, from my AI agent, there was just a 1 person or a 2 person, it was him and his brother, I believe. They built a $1 billion company using just AI, which is bananas, and I'll cover that in a different video. My point being is that if you enjoy stuff like this, and if you really like learning how all of this was built, the actual ecosystem, like what we do, how we create the AI agents, how we set up Claude, where we put them, how we use Slack involved, and what it actually takes to run a business that's going to do over $2 million this year, drop a comment, drop a like. This whole YouTube thing is brand new. I'm excited to kind of create more, help you guys out. But I want to learn what you guys want to see. And internally, there's so much more that I can show. You see all these tabs available, right? You see Supabase. This is the back end of the development that we use. So all of our products and all of our services are built inside of Supabase. It's the database, right? You look at things like Vercel. We deploy all of our tools through Vercel. GitHub. You guys all know GitHub. It's where all of the repositories are. This might sound like gibberish if you're brand new to this. All of these tools make what we're doing very complex. Not super complex to a point where you can't learn, but to a point where it does 100% consume your time. If I didn't have a company that was already doing this, so to give you an example, if weren't already at 30 or 40,000 per month, we're at a team that was kind of working without me, this stuff would almost not have been possible. And if you ask anybody who runs a actual service-based company that performs service tasks to companies, and you told them, hey, if you had to do all of the doing yourself, all the hand-holding yourself, all the client management yourself, could you have learned Claude Code? Absolutely not. It is a little bit of a learning curve for even the best of advanced, I'll say AI users, not developers, of course. It's totally different. Tools that you have to use to be able to leverage and implement these things, right? So developers understand that you have to use databases in Vercel or GitHub, whatever, but I had no idea, and most of us didn't. So Claude actually shows us how to use itself. You just have to be able to follow prompt and ideas. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I want to show you guys so much more about how we actually run the internals of our business, how many VAs we manage, how we manage 100 VAs, what tech we use, etc., and how we went from $0 to literally over 120,000 per month by using this exact model. So drop a comment and a like, and I appreciate you. See you in the next video.